But let's start with this, Isabel. You must be over the moon about the Bill
de Blasio?
Yes.
Yeah, I sure am over the moon about it. And isn't it, I mean, well, what do you think? I mean, of course I'm over the moon. But I also kind of think it makes sense.
Yeah, well, of course it makes sense. Now, do we have that sound from that call?
I can pull it right now.
Okay, we're going to pull this sound. I don't know if you caught this, Isabel, but
okay.
You are you're a real you grew up on the Upper West Side. You're one of these classic Upper West Side kids. And
like a pigeon.
Like a pigeon. I don't know what that means, but I'm not, so I don't understand the code there of the Upper West Side New York kids. But there was a great moment on New York One, a call-in show. And I was still trying to figure out whether or not this is even real. But a caller called in to complain about de Blasio in a way that I thought was genius if it's comedic. If not, I just want your take on this.
Okay.
It's still fantastic. All right, let's play this clip.
Thanks. Joan is on the Upper West Side and joins the call. Joan, you just heard from Paul on Twitter who says, who in this city is enthusiastic about a Mayor de Blasio? Are you on any level?
No, I was at first because of this Stop and Frisk, which I'm totally against. But when I saw him on the street with his entourage, I had gone up to him and introduced myself and told him how active I was in liberal politics. And I said to him, you're not going to end Stop and Frisk in Manhattan, right? Just in Staten Island, Brooklyn, and Queens, and I'm still up in the air about the Bronx. And he said, why should I not have it in Manhattan? And I said, well, you can't expect us to live by the same rules we dictate to other people, for heaven's sakes. Just because people like me are against Stop and Frisk in places like Brooklyn and Queens and Staten Island doesn't mean we don't want it to continue in Manhattan. I mean, Manhattan is special. Let's put it this way. We are New York.
So
Brooklyn and Queens and Staten Island, I don't even like talking about those kinds of places.
I'm assuming you were sarcastic.
No,
How did he respond?
I'm being sincere.
Oh,
no.
You're being sincere.
I don't know why that's funny.
Why is that funny? Yeah. That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in 8 years on this program.
Well, in all due respect, think about it this way.
Go ahead.
If
I thought you were kidding. Go ahead.
No, I'm not. Affordable housing, I mean, New Yorkers accept in the boroughs, but you don't want those people living around you. Of course, I would be the first to say anybody in Brooklyn or Queens and Staten Island would be prejudiced for that, but, I mean, I'm not a hypocrite.
So who are you voting for, Joan?
Well, I thought about Christine Quinn because Thompson wants to keep it going because he says it saves the life.
So when Joan goes primary day, who are you going to pull the lever for?
So far, I'm leaning towards Quinn, but Thompson.
Say no more. Joan from the Upper West Side, folks. Say no more.
All right, that was it.
No, that person was she was kidding. I mean, she must have been. Who's like that?
I don't know. I think I'm supposedly scheduled to be on Up tomorrow, and supposedly de Blasio is supposed to be there. And
wait, you're going to be on? What are you going to be on tomorrow?
That should actually be the first question that I ask him on Up with Steve Kornacki. Yes. That should be the question I ask him.
Have you seen that video?
What did that lady come up to you and say? Did you have this conversation?
I mean, Is that the guy that are you going to be on with that radio with that host?
No, I'm going to be on with de Blasio.
Right, but who's is the what I just listened to? The guy that was conducting that interview.
No,
is
he's
that guy
from.
Be there?
No, he's from New York One. I'm going to be on MSNBC tomorrow.
Oh my gosh!
Do you think it's real? I mean, there is a certain attitude, right? I mean, there is a certain. This is how we have had a series of successive Republican mayors, I think, in this city. Now, to be fair to that assessment, Bloomberg was a fairly liberal Democrat before he decided to run for mayor, more or less, and then became a Republican, then went back to an independent.
Right.
But there is definitely in this city, and there is a strain of sort of smoked salmon socialism, as it were, as they call it. I mean, that is... that does have that sort of notion or something. That wasn't you, Isabel, was it? That called in.
That wasn't what?
That wasn't you that called in to New York 1.
Joan, Isabel, a.k.a. Joan. Joan is such an Upper West Side name. I can't believe it.
It sounded real. I mean, I love the fact that she said, "I'm going to vote for Christine Quinn," because to me, that's what Christine Quinn does represent. You know, to have some sort of like liberal politics, or but at her core, there's this. I'm okay.
She's a Republican.
Yeah.
She is Christine Quinn, basically.
I mean, it's I don't know. I thought that was just if it was comedy, it was brilliant, and if it was not comedy, it was still brilliant.